Welcome back to the Eric Krown Crypto channel. Wishing you a happy and healthy start to this nice Monday morning over here from Helsinki, Finland. A lot to be speaking about, a lot of new things to be speaking about as well, which I'm rather excited about. Makes it more fun for me, of course, and hopefully for you out there as well. And yeah, without further ado, let's actually just jump right into it. Oh, I would like to once again aggressively, politely, maybe even shill my own Instagram account. I've been doing a lot of like morning update, morning walk thoughts on Bitcoin actually, and then sometimes later on in the day as well, if if needed, and of course other lifestyle stuff there too. So I understand that it's not going to be for everyone, but if that does interest you, there is a link in the description below for exactly that. Be aware of any other accounts that might look like that because they are not me. I only have one account, and it is that link in the description below. All right, cool. So I want to start off right today with the heavy hidden content, the new stuff of what, well, all of it's actually new. Oh, and by the way, the short-term timeframes, yes, we did resolve the short-term timeframe range highs at 19.6 with that targeted region back up to just around 21,000 bucks, kind of where Bitcoin put in its high, I think last night or yesterday, whatever it was. Anyways, here is the new stuff. So you all remember, or you probably remember, this chart over here. This chart over here talking about the volatility versus momentum on the extreme expansions from extreme low volatility conditions. So that move's already played out. Not we, but Bitcoin played that out just about as perfectly as you can. In the allotted time frame as well. I think about 14 days, 15 days now. So all good right there. So now the big focus is on the next mean reversion play. So here's the thing. I would not say that Bitcoin exactly has its current lows in for this exact moment. The reason why I say that is because over the weekend, obviously CME was not trading, nor was traditional markets. So they have yet to see that puke that I think that they probably will do once we get US market open tomorrow, not today. Of course, today is a holiday. It's a new holiday. Learned about that from the comment section yesterday. It's called Juneteenth, which is great, man. Anyways, in this case right here, it completely depends upon where we see the actual low first. So if Bitcoin does once again puke towards around its current lows, let's say like 18,000, maybe a little bit below there, maybe a little bit above there, is all fair game once US markets open up tomorrow. I don't have a strong opinion on that. We'll go over short-term timeframes a little bit later, and maybe that can provide a bit of insight into that. But for right now, what I want to talk about is what's likely to happen after that. So we're looking really around end of week, maybe even beginning of next week. This is what the preparation is for. And it's the mean reversion play that typically happens after, or not typically, but only happens after that initial signal that we saw over here on the extreme low volatility condition play. So what am I essentially talking about? Or can I go over the signal? Of course I can. So what I'm talking about, for example, is best shown in actually the last example that we did see. We saw the volatility expansion from here, extreme lows to extreme highs, blah, 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 blah. That one played out again, like exactly as fucking predicted. No, of course, not exactly as predicted. We're only looking at statistics and probabilities, nothing else, nothing more. There's no fucking guessing, or sorry, not guessing, but predictions and bullshit like that. It can't be done. Only statistics, man. You know, it either works or doesn't. Anyways, sorry, going a little bit crazy on that. So what am I talking about? Well, after we get that extreme move, the contraction phase that happens after it does produce a mean reversion play more often than not, significantly more often than I should say. And in this case right here, we do see a great example of it where the daily BBWP on CME starts to trend down, gets a negative slope, and gets below the moving average specifically as well. Once that happens, that constitutes a signal, a pretty obvious signal in this case. As you can see right here, as I mark it off, you will notice that the low to next high was about 16.5%. So that's how I generated this data. I did it for the last 11 iterations on this chart, and they've been pretty consistent actually. What I found was, based off these statistics, the average mean reversion play was about 15.24%, done over the course of about 11 and a half days. Stochastic momentum also got the correct direction 82% of the time. Okay, so what does that mean for our current price action? Well, daily stochastic momentum oscillator is way the fuck down there. Probably not going to turn up today, although I guess it could. It's really not too far away, but 21,000 bucks. But ultimately, I'd probably be looking for something like this, to be fair. There we go. You know, get a little bit of divergence in there too. But something like that, probably around, again, like I said, earliest end of this week, maybe beginning of next week, although timing never really my thing. And then the mean reversion play completely depends upon what the low is before we get that signal on this current one over here. Again, the reason why I don't think that this is happening today or tomorrow for that matter is that we still see the BBWP itself well above the moving average, and it's going to take at least 2 days. At least 2 days minimum, I would imagine, for the BBWP to be below the moving average, and then probably another day for it to get a negative slope. So that gives you like Thursday, Friday, I imagine. So Again, can Bitcoin, retest our current lows from over the weekend, maybe even a little bit lower? Possible, yes. But if we were to play around with numbers right here, this is what I think is rather interesting. If we do assume that our current low on CME is the actual low, well, what's 15.25% from our current lows right here? That puts Bitcoin at about 22.6, basically 22.8, close to $23,000. That's a very interesting number, simply because if we go over here to the weekly for CME, that's exactly where the weekly 200 moving average is, which is the last meme to be broken. Now, I actually don't really consider it broken myself. I don't really consider a moving average support broken unless you do one of two things: open and close below it in this case, or have 3 consecutive closes below it. So, it could very easily be that it does reclaim it and then does a major massive bear trap. I think that's like the ultimate fucking hopium. I'm not saying that's what's likely to happen right here. Not again saying that's what's likely to happen right here. But hey, if you do want some hopium, that's probably what it looks like. But anyways, in this case right here, you'll probably get a chance to retest that, maybe even close above it. And if that happens, then maybe the hopium case does actually have some merit to it, or at least, another run up somewhere around like 28 to 29, definitely possible. But of course, that would assume that our current low is the low. If the short-term timeframes give out, which we're going to talk about conditions for confirming that later today, and we do see another move towards, let's say, even like, low $18,000 region, a 15% move only brings you back up towards $21,500. So, that's not too helpful for right now. Anyways, again, we'll be updating on this as the week goes on, obviously. And now we can go into the short-term timeframes over here and go down here. Yes, there we go. And a few things to be aware of. So for right now on CME, with still 1 hour and 39 minutes and 23 seconds left to go, there is potential phantom bullish divergence going on right here for Bitcoin. In fact, 1, 2, 3 drives being built up, pretty aggressive drives right there, to be fair as well. If Bitcoin can realistically close like here or higher, so it's a long 2 hours left to go. And what should be known on the other side is that spot price action is a completely different picture, as we do see potential hidden bearish divergence being plotted in right here, which will be confirmed if Bitcoin closes below the range lows at 19.6, even on an hourly. So if Bitcoin comes back down and closes on an hourly below 19,600, yes, I would call this another confirmed local high, plus hidden bearish divergence, plus stochastic momentum on the 4 hour for CME would actually still be to the downside, because that would be below $20,000, and obviously spot price action as well, which is showing 19,450. Well, close enough in this case here too. So keep in mind that pivot. As long as Bitcoin's above it, well, I guess the hoping for short-term rally continuation does remain. Short-term rally continuation upside targets would be basically 1, the high from, I'm guessing it's actually 1 a.m. my time, so the high of the day right here. I guess I already have it in there. And then if Bitcoin even closes an hourly delta above there, I would actually look for it to extend maybe even close to $22,000, somewhere around 21.7 to 21.850 or so. And then we can maybe even see continuation from there. Maybe even the mean version play starts to happen from there. Definitely possible. So in this case right here, it all kind of depends on how Bitcoin resolves the very short-term time frame range. And yeah, I do think that hourlies are okay to use in this case, although as always, short-term, 4-hour time frames probably gonna be better. But again, that's gonna be a 20,800 to the upside versus 19.6 to the downside. And of course, stochastic momentum basically pivots around both of those levels on CME and on spot, which is actually rather funny. And we have potential bullish divergence versus potential hidden bearish divergence contingent upon the validation of those conditions as well. Now, here's the other thing, for maybe a little bit of a slight edge to the upside, although this did not work yesterday for the first time in a while, for the first time in like a very, very long time, actually. The funny rates, we do see that the funny rates are negative right here. So shorts are paying longs. Typically that has been a, decent-ish for the day signal to try some more upside. So fair enough. Yeah, anyways, I think that actually pretty much does it. Yeah, that pretty much does it actually for me right now. So yeah, the big things that I'm looking at is mean reversion play. I expect that starts to happen this week. So yeah, that's probably gonna be the next big thing that I'm looking for. And if Bitcoin does start to, trade its way back above like $23,000 and close dailies above there, we're going to see a much greater extension on that move if that were to happen. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I think that the downside is mostly done for now. Yes, maybe we get another retest of the lows again if Bitcoin does come back down and violate 19,600. I would be looking for another move somewhere around like at least mid 18s, maybe even low 18s, something like that, like 18.5 to 18,000 even. But But yeah, again, I do think that the general downside was a little bit overdone here, and probably we're looking at a bounce first before anything else. I'm not calling any macro lows. There's absolutely no fucking way to do that until we actually get, a full-on macro reversal, which is not happening anytime soon because you need both like a higher high and a higher low. Even just a higher low would be good enough for me at this point. But hey, no sense in front running that as far as this goes. So I will be signing off on that note. I hope that this one serves you well. I should actually, I also wanted to point out this as well. I also put up a video that I'm really, really proud of last week. It's basically a video about how to create a strategy, like go through the strategy checklist, then back test that strategy. And then if you so desire, apply that strategy, of course. It was titled some clickbait title, like, how to actually make money on BitGet. If you search that in, or if you just look through my channel and you see that video from last week, should be quite obvious. It's right there for you. So hopefully that was helpful. I'll be signing off now. Take care and see you hopefully soon.